check.
We finance your dreams. We grow your legacy. We build relationships with our communities. Come in to find out why our customers always say, RCB Bank. That's my bank.
Well, hello, Whitney. How
Hello,
are you?
John. So here's the proposal packet for the new mobile app.
As long as I'm running this thing, there ain't gonna be no mobile app.
Introducing the new mobile app, making your banking experience even easier. It's so easy, even John can use it. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
We have a help tab if you need help. We will
I
have.
don't need help. I'm pretty good at this.
You are good at this.
Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska, wants you to know they are still the same friendly hometown bank. Local people that live, work, and worship right here in Cushing. Providing you the same great service, more convenient products and technology, making your local banking experience even better. A great bank, serving a great community. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
811 before you dig.
Show your Tiger spirit everywhere you go with the Bank of Cushing Tiger Card. Every swipe helps support Cushing Public Schools for those everyday purchases that make life so much easier. Breakfast, lunch and dinner, at the gym, at the doctor's office, or taking your pet to the vet. Use the best-looking debit card at Cushing. It's a killer way to support Cushing Public Schools. Show your spirit with the Tiger Card from Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
RCB Bank is more than a transaction. We work to make your life easier. We help build your business. We finance your dreams. We grow your legacy. We build relationships with our communities. Come in to find out why our customers always say, RCB Bank. That's my bank.
Hello, Whitney. How
Hello,
are you?
John. So here's the proposal packet for the new mobile app.
As long as I'm running this thing, there ain't gonna be no mobile app.
Introducing the new mobile app, making your banking experience even easier. It's so easy, even John can use it. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
We have a help tab if you need help. We will have...
Oh, need help. I'm pretty good at this.
You are good at this.
Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska, wants you to know they are still the same friendly hometown bank. Local people that live, work, and worship right here in Cushing. Providing you the same great service, more convenient products and technology, making your local banking experience even better. A great bank, serving a great community. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
Be sure you know what's below and call 811 before you dig.
Show
Check,
your
check.
Tiger
All
spirit everywhere you go with the
Can you hear me? Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hub Network.
If you would please stand for the playing of the national anthem.
You want to turn the train on the flags? Get a pretty shot of the flag, get a wide shot, and a close shot.
Camera 1, get a wide shot of the flag. Camera 2, get a close shot.
Right now, it's nice getting the breeze through, but we'll see. We may have to change it. Are you ready?
Camera 1, you're on.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of Tiger Football Live here on the Hub Network. This is our Plains Pipeline pregame countdown. James Koff here with Travis Peary. Welcome back from the land of Indiana, along with Bruce Vogt, who'll be getting us ready for Vogt's Notes at halftime.
Yes, sir. It's good to be in Skiatook this evening as we watch the Tigers try to finish out the regular season, currently sitting 9-0 and on top of the district. And the Tigers are and have wrapped up the district championship and will play their first playoff game at home. So we're coming to Skiatook tonight as a precursor to that and to round out the regular season. And it is good to be back here, and especially at Skiatook for Tiger football on a special Thursday night.
Hey, let's talk about FFA for just a second. How was the trip?
Well, we had 6 FFA officers who attended the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana, and the trip out there and the trip back was mostly uneventful. And, of course, with the huge expo and the colleges and industries that present themselves there, in addition to national officers and leadership workshops, the students seem to have a fantastic time. And we even included some educational tours on the way there and back. So, overall, just a wonderful experience and something that they'll remember most likely all their life. I remember every trip I ever made, and I think that, most people would agree.
Hey, you said it, back to football now. It's a beautiful evening. You said it. Tigers come in here in charge of everything. Had another big win against Oologah last week. Tigers come in with that win, district champions, and really in charge of their fate. I talked to somebody from Skiatook today. They said they have mostly freshmen taking the field because of injuries. And so another one of those games tonight, I'm afraid, like we've seen a couple times this season.
Yeah, and Skiatook has, worked through the season just like the Tigers have. However, the Tigers are sitting at undefeated at 9-0. Skiatook's only district win was against Cleveland. And Cleveland sits, of course, at the bottom of the district with all losses. So as you predict and look through how other teams have handled each other, teams that the Tigers have handled pretty well have beaten this team. And all that's fun for analytics and all that's fun, going into a week and looking ahead. However, when it comes right down to it, it's all about what's getting ready to happen here in just a few minutes, and that's kicking off the football and making it happen week in and week out, starting tonight, going into week 10.
People underestimate just how good the Tigers are. They see some of these scores, and they're like, hey, the Tigers have been running through everybody. We must have a really weak district, and that's simply not the case. We have a tough district, and it's really up to the Tigers to stay mentally focused, and it's been interesting to see how well they've done at staying focused this year.
Yeah, and I think that's been the key to their season so far is taking one game at a time, setting goals, both short-term and long-term, and tackling those goals, no pun intended, week in and week out, taking one opponent down after the other, focusing on just getting ready for that opponent. And that's what they've done tonight, and that's what they're planning to do tonight. And depending on how things go later in the broadcast, we might be able to get into looking ahead a little bit. If not, we'll wait till the game's over.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's just this game that's the main concern, and it looks like the coin toss at midfield.
In fact, go ahead. While you're doing that, I can pull up a mock bracket we have. It's not official, but it's kind of where we think we might go this year. But go ahead, at midfield.
I believe the Tigers have won the toss and have elected to, like they have week in and week out, go ahead and go on offense first. Come out of the gate swinging and show that high-powered offense and what it's capable of, and go ahead and try to put their opponent, pedaling backwards right from the start.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring up a mock bracket here as we go to number 5. Go ahead. So here we have the mock bracket, and it's just an idea of what it might be. And as we look at this, Travis, we've got Elk City on our side, the top side. Cushing's going to be, this is probably right, playing Ada. I would think that's going to be right unless something changes tonight. Now, nothing's official, and nothing could, everything could change. You guys go ahead and slide down a little bit. Everything could change as we go along, but we'll see how that works out. Like I said, that's a mock-up bracket. We'll talk more about that as the broadcast goes on and your Tigers go out. Go ahead and switch.
And the background noise, of course, is the Tigers taking the field. We're on the visitors' side in tonight's broadcast, so we'll have some of our crowd noise and some of our band noise in the background of what we're doing as Skiatook takes the field opposite of us. Field faces north and south, and the wind is right now coming out of the south. And it's kind of a steady wind. It's not necessarily gusting, but it's blowing the flag.
We appreciate everybody joining us for this Plains Pipeline pregame countdown this evening as we get ready to take on Skiatook. You can see Cushing has taken the field. Skiatook is deflating their Bulldog as we get set. Now, as we said, this is one of those games we'll probably see more and more Cushing players getting into the game through the third and fourth quarters, maybe even earlier. Tonight, we shall see how this goes.
Certainly would be an anticipation. Again, going through just predictions and things that you would expect based on players who get to analyze film and get to see what their opponent is like. And as they prepare for it, you know where your strengths and where your weaknesses are, and you know what the other team has, and you schedule and plan for that. And it doesn't always go your way, but in this case, the Tigers certainly hoping to do that right off the bat. Here tonight coming out on offense from this kickoff.
All right. Appreciate everybody joining us for the Plains Pipeline pregame countdown as we get set and Tigers are set to receive. Back is Lane Yount and Noah Jones.
We'll start off just like to follow up on what you said, James. The kicker, number 27, is Isaac Sherrill, and a freshman. So following up on some of that insider information, it could be several younger players for Skiatook on the field this evening. Back for the Tigers, Jones and Yount. Crooks plays in the up midfield position, and the officials are just about ready to get going.
And gets a lot in that up midfield position.
And this will be interesting. We saw the kicker warming up before the game, and at this point, he's got the wind at his back. He was kicking some field goals. We'll see where he's able to put this one. If they even want to kick off and allow the Tigers to have a return, we'll see. That one will be down the middle and to Jones.
Uh-oh. That one took a bad hop. He couldn't get a hold of it. Has it now.
He has a few blocks. He's making his way towards our side of the field. He has another hold, another block. He's going to get himself to the sidelines, and it looks like one more block by Matheson. Jones has the sidelines. There was a penalty flag thrown back around the 15-yard line. Yes. However, Noah Jones with a kickoff return to kick things off.
Very nice, sir. Flag back here. It looks like it's going to be against Skiatook. A hold. Nope. Yep, nope. Gonna bring him back. We'll get there in a minute.
And the coaches are gathering up towards the penalty side of the field, so maybe something against the Tigers.
It was against Tigers, holding against the Tigers. And we're going to have to look through the officials back all night tonight. And, folks, you'll notice we've got 2 cameras going tonight, so get a little more action here in this last game as we're getting ready for districts, trying to add more to the experience as districts is looming. But Maya Grant and Jackie Vanderpool on the cameras tonight.
The Tiger offensive line that's done such a good job all year long. Of course, Schuler in the center position, and Aiden Spencer, and Brody Todd, and a couple more that we'll get to in a minute. Those guys have just done an excellent job. They'll deal with a 3-man front for the Skiatook defense to start things off. Skiatook, of course, very aware of Cushing's pass threat. And in a lot of situations with the number of tools the Tigers have, opponents will choose to rush 3 and drop 8. Berlowitz looks to the handoff and then fires over the middle. He's got Crooks, and Crooks has room. Gets over and down, eventually taken down by number 19.
So Crooks, that one's a little bit high. Berlowitz comes out a little bit, and the wind going against him. So he gets that one floating just a little bit, but the athleticism of Crooks, able to get up, tip it, and bring it in.
Now Crooks in motion, and Berlowitz looks his way, then back downfield. And he finds a guy wide open. Looks like Yount. Yount has plenty of room and makes his way out inside the 40 to about the 33-yard line.
And on that side of the field, I am really having a difficult time seeing Skiatook's numbers. I can see them over here. If they get over there, I believe that was 1 and 33 maybe on the tackle, which is Eric Rogers and Jacoby Jackson, sorry.
Tigers continuing in their hurry-up offense. Has 2 blockers to Jones around the side. He's got the sideline again. This time he is pushed out of bounds. That's number 25, Ian Long.
Yeah, great blocks. And, we've talked about it quite a bit this year, how good the Tiger line has been. And they've been solid. And once again, credit to that line, staying with their blocks all the way down.
This time Berlowitz with the snap takes about a 4-step drop. He's got Jones as a check down. He fires in the middle. Touchdown, Tigers.
And not only do you have Jones, but he also had all the time in the world and makes that one count as the Tigers are on the board for 6.
A catch and a touchdown for Brady Matheson. And the Tiger offense does what it has done all year long, marches down the field and flexes their arm a little bit in the opening possession of the game. Several big plays, but methodically done in the blocking and play calling and schemes. And to what James said, Berlowitz having all the time allows those routes to open up, and that is a key to a successful passing attack. Here's Matheson with the point after, up and good. 7-0, and we're just underway. 11:02 remaining in the first quarter.
And we'll talk about a few of our sponsors here. Want to mention Davis Dental Studio. SuperSource. Davis Dental Studio, our scoreboard sponsor, a longtime sponsor for Cushing Cosmetic Dentistry, crowns, bridges, teeth whitening, comprehensive dentistry, implant restorations, and Botox. 918-225-1356. Or give her a visit at 1330 East 9th Street in Cushing. Davis Dental Studio, your scoreboard sponsor. All right. Hey, listen. Just like that, Tigers taking care of business. First play penalty, and then after that, Tigers marching down the field for a touchdown. And, hey, Brady Matheson, a name we've been mentioning quite a bit this year.
Well, and I was just going to say something to the effect of those wide receivers that have their success in running their routes and pulling in their catches and in yards to gain after a catch. Complimentary all the way around. But what they do for each other after the catch or on a running play. They have done textbook-style blocking at the sides and downfield in order to not get the penalty and still get the job done, and they've done it all year long. Here's Matheson's kick against the wind. He keeps it low. It's taken around the 10. He'll make his way out to the 27-yard line. And, again, those numbers in red on black are hard to see. That may be number 20, Chris Eustace. And this will be Skiatook's first offensive look of the game as the Tigers come out on defense. Skiatook's quarterback Jace White is a senior, quarterback and linebacker. And he will work from the shotgun with Jacoby Jackson in the backfield. There's the pass downfield. It's deep. Jones is there. He's got his man covered, and it's a little too long. So nice job, Noah Jones, hanging on the coverage. The pass from White was intended for Alex Morgan. Tonight being the last game of the regular season and at Skiatook is also their senior night. And Skiatook has a hurry-up offense of their own as they try to get set, and a couple, looks like Crooks and Jones were still on their way back from their coverage. However, all for naught. Skiatook looks to the sideline and resets. Here's White with a handoff. He's met in the backfield, dropped for a loss. Matheson's coming out of the play as well as look like Connor Moreland. So the ball remains at the Bulldog 24-yard line after the loss. Brings up third down and 12. White with the snap, looks our way, fires in and out of the hands. On the coverage for the Tigers, Ace Wright. And the pass was intended for Chris Eustace again. So Tiger defense holds on third down, brings up fourth down and 12. Kind of what you like to see, James, obviously, from any defensive standpoint is tackles made in the backfield and pass coverage is there, whether the pass is on target or not. A good start for the Tiger defense. A good roll on the punt. Crooks will let that one go out of bounds. Looks like they'll spot this around the Tiger 33-yard line. That's where they'll begin first down and 10.
I was adjusting the scoreboard there, getting everything set back. Tigers have taken care of business this year on defense as well as we've ever seen them.
Yeah, and you talk about players like Matheson and others who are all over that defense, getting tackles. And
Wyatt Heisler's been one that he's really stepped up this year, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
This play will start now from the 23-yard line. First down and 10, Jones, lone back set, two wide receivers to both sides, and Berlowitz goes to pass. He looks downfield, he's got Yount deep, but he fires over the middle. This time was a adjustment made by Matheson on his route, and he was open.
Yep, and unfortunately hit him in the numbers, and so I couldn't bring that one in. Chris Kinsey says, hey, great to have Mr. Peary back with the incredible Hub crew. Thanks to Mr. Peary for everything you do for our FFA students. Go Tigers.
Fantastic. Great to be back. And, yes, Mr. Kinsey been a long time, supporter of the FFA after being a member, and his dad, of course. But that whole family is a big influence in my life. So glad to know that they're watching, and thanks for the shout-out. Now the Berlowitz passes with no backs in the backfield. To the right side, that's Jones. Jones gets across the 40. He'll be taken down around the 42. Looks like in on the tackle was Marvin Johnson, also listed as a freshman for the Skiatook Bulldogs. So that'll bring up a first down and 10. Tigers now on the move again. We're just under 10 minutes, 9:50 in the first quarter. And this pitch to Jones, he's got all kinds of blockers out in front of him, including Crooks.
And Berlowitz.
Yount. He's eventually taken out of bounds. Nice run, nice first down gain And that was Ian Long on the tackle.
You know, as you see that, they have really developed staying behind the blockers, and waiting till that last blocker makes his tackle. And, you know, Brody Berlowitz hits a guy. He comes off of Brody, and then there's Crooks right there to finish him out. Should Noah Jones be there.
This time the pass goes to the far side to Crooks, and he's got one guy out there to beat. Now he runs over the other guy and gets inside the 30. He'll be taken down around the 26-yard line.
I was
Crooks just in his style.
It's his style, man. I've said that so many times. He's running like he's angry at the ground or angry at somebody, or and he's not. He just has a passion for the game. He has a passion. He wants to be in the end zone or in on every play.
And he may want to juke one or two guys, but eventually he's just going to run over you. This pass from Berlowitz into the end zone. Touchdown! That's Matheson with his second touchdown of the night.
Brady Matheson gets right in there for his second touchdown. And, man, I got to tell you, that looked pretty all the way across as Berlowitz hits him in stride in the end zone.
And
anywhere on the field, that one's going to be yards after. That is a beautiful catch and pass.
Yeah, and against the wind as well. And Matheson does a great job coming open on the route. Berlowitz sees him right away. Great by design, great carried out. And Tigers now up 13, trying to make it 14-0. Matheson for the point after. There's the hold and kick, and it is not good. It looked like a little bobble in the hold or in the snap. So 9:16 remaining. Tigers up 13-0 over the Skiatook Bulldogs.
Yeah, and I'm watching a little bit of a replay there. That's exactly what it was. A little bit of a bobble in the snap. You got it just right in the hold. So Tigers up 13 on Skiatook. And, we talk about how good Berlowitz is each week. So one thing we'll hear at halftime is RCB at the half. RCB Bank, that's my bank. You can connect with them at rcbbank.com. Finance your personal and business needs with them. That's my bank. RCB Bank, and they are the sponsor of Votes Notes and RCB at the half. Also want to mention Ortho Oklahoma. On-site imaging, including Stillwater's only open MRI. Ortho Oklahoma is the sponsor of the game wrap-up. Sports medicine, orthopedic surgery, spine surgery, total joint replacement. Ortho Oklahoma, a division of Stillwater Medical. Visit them at 511 South Windsor in Stillwater or 405-707-0900, www.orthooklahoma.com. All right, back to action.
Matheson getting set to kick from his own 40-yard line. Again, into the wind. He's got the short drop and a short 2-3 steps and then a kick. Skiatook set to return. Their deep men are at their own 10-yard line. This one will be a high returnable from the up back at the 20. He'll make his way out to the 30 before eventually being driven out of bounds. And as we look, maybe, looks like number 15 for the Tigers. That's Tegan Fitchie with a nice tackle on the kickoff. Spot the ball at the Bulldog 30-yard line. First down and 10. The Tiger defense takes the field for the second time.
My favorite, Favalora, Anne-Marie Favalora, and Stacy Malloy, and a whole bunch of others joining us tonight. Matthew Ray, Scott Walters, Melissa Folsom says, "Go Tigers." Mike Jenkins, 2 cameras. Loving it, Cecil Moreland. I love Cecil Moreland. That's my favorite. Moreland is watching.
This handoff straight up the middle. Jacoby Jackson, the running back, several Tigers in on the stop. And usually the key on plays like that is linebackers. We've talked about it all year. Linebackers are there to fill holes, and linemen are there to disturb and to shut down holes. And whenever you get gang tackling like that, you give your defense a thumbs up.
Hey, Travis, did you hear we got the answer for your trivia question?
I did not know that. I did find out the answer. I just didn't know that we had.
Coach Tuttle sent us the answer, and with a verifiable statement, picture of the last time, and see if what you say is the same thing. What did you have for the last time?
It was indeed 2016.
Bingo.
G.W. Burgett back on the field tonight, and it's good to see him on that tackle. Pass was to Alex Morgan. G.W. is there to stop him. A loss of 2 on the play brings up 3rd down and 11. Yes, and I've got some other interesting questions tonight. And as we move forward throughout the year, I'd like to get some of the fans' input, things they may or may not remember or things they may or may not know.
I'm hoping that we see the Tigers all the way through to the final and the gold ball, but you know, it really is that difficult to get there. People think that it's just a straight path, and it's never just a straight path.
And I would say here's a pass to the far side. Ace right there to block it or to help reject it. Crooks in the area and Yount in the area as well. This was a nice pass with the wind, but Wright was there to help knock it away.
If there's ever been a team that is suited to go to the state finals, that is Cushing this year.
That's one of the things that you know, coaching staffs and you know, players have to keep in their mind all year long, especially at this point as we're starting to approach the playoffs, is anything can happen, and we have to prepare week in and week out because what you are on paper doesn't matter when it comes down to play in the game. Here's Crook's return to the far side, finds a lane, runs over a guy before eventually being taken out just inside the 30-yard line.
Let me clarify. First off, he stayed right behind his blockers until the last one there. He comes up, runs over a guy, connects with a guy, and as you said, taken out, not down.
That's right. And Crook's one of the things that's often admirable about the way he runs as well is he doesn't often get tackled backwards. Even whenever he's brought down forward. And if you were to add up those half-yard gains all year long, there's an advantage to any team having running backs and wide receivers that are taking down, that are, you know, when they are taken down falling forward. And that's something Crooks does over and over again. This time Berlowitz with two wide receivers to both sides. I believe Horn is in the backfield. Berlowitz will go back to pass, and he'll have some room on the left, finds a receiver. That's going to be Yount, eventually down inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. He's taken down by quarterback Jace White. Another wonderful play you have to contribute the offensive line because Berlowitz had time to move around a little bit, take a couple steps forward, and it gave Yount the opportunity for that route to open up.
Mm-hmm.
Now Berlowitz, Horn to his right. Jacob gets the handoff, and he'll go right over his blocks, right in, touchdown, Tigers. Jacob Horn, the left side of the line, opens it up. He's in for 6.
Jacob Horn on the board for the Tigers. And, you know, remember Catoosa, we saw Jacob several times, just series after series running the ball down the field.
Hilligoss on to hold. Matheson will attempt the extra point once again. 6:32 remaining in the first quarter. Tigers with their third touchdown, attempting their third extra point, of which they have one and one so far. Hold looks real good, and the kick is also real good.
Yep.
Tigers up 19-20, 20-0 over Skiatook. 6:32 remaining in the first quarter.
A little bit about like we thought we would see tonight. Want to mention a few more of our sponsors. Blue Sky Bank, your hometown bank, the sponsor of the post-game interview and the Big Tiger play. We're always looking out for that Big Tiger play each week. Blue Sky Bank, your hometown bank. Don't forget, Oklahoma Community Credit Union. Experience the member difference. Join today. Go online at oklahomacommunitycu.com or 405-743-3328. All right. Is this fourth kickoff now for the Tigers?
Third, because we received first. Because we received, this will be our third, so yes. With that said, Skiatook will receive the opening kick of the second half. Hopefully the Tigers, doing things at will right now, won't need to worry about any strategy there as things are going their way so far. This is a shorter kick by Matheson, and it will be covered up. And it looks like that's number 20. That is Chris Eustace. And Skiatook will take over first down and 10 from their own 33-yard line.
And we'll try to get more and more as these players come in, folks. Every week we're trying to get their names mentioned because we know it is important, almost as important as the time they spend on the field. It's amazing the amount of time that the Tigers have had for their entire team to be on the field this year.
So the Tiger defense in a 4-man front, 3 linebackers, and the defensive secondary of 4. Attempt to shut Skiatook down again with a pass right off the bat down the middle of the field. And again, the wind maybe just a little bit too much on that pass. Jones was still there in coverage, so it would have been a tight needle to thread.
That's right. It was, and it was a nice pass. I believe he would have threaded if he hadn't overthrown it. But as you said, Jones right there on the coverage. And, man, step for step. And I think Jones had a little more in the tank, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and you know, quarterbacks know, and anyone will tell you, adjusting to the wind is doable, but it's not always a quick adjustment. It can take a little bit of time. And you're adjusting arm strength, and you're adjusting your position and how you're throwing off your back leg and things. It can be an adjustment to go with the wind. Then you have to turn around and adjust to go against it.
Right.
So the good feeling you can have as a Tiger fan right now is the defensive secondary has been there. Had those passes been there, the secondary's been there to break them up.
Really good quarterbacks and receivers make it look like it is easy. And I want to mention along with that is Jones in on the tackle. I want to mention along with that. Go ahead. Who was on the?
That was Nate Ledbetter who got the pass, and he is a sophomore player.
There's a lot of things a lot of people don't think about. Well, for one, the crown of a field. When you go to a natural turf, there's a crown on the field, and there can be a foot difference from one side to the other that a player can be running on and trying to adjust for that, the crown of the field, the wind, the conditions, the moisture in the air. There's a lot of things, and good quarterbacks and receivers make that look easy, but it's not. It's a long ways from being easy.
That's exactly right. White on this with a quick pass out in the flats, and that's not handled. Alex Morgan, the intended receiver.
Just goes to show what a special group we have with Blaze Berlowitz as quarterback and his entire receiving core.
White continuing in this will be a 4th down. Possibly, he'll go back to punt. As I say, possibly a quick punt.
Oh, boy.
There's the punt. That's blocked. That is blocked by Connor Moreland coming through, and that looks like it'll really work against Skiatook.
Didn't even realize he had blocked as it was kicked off of his back, and I think it hit him in the pads, and he just didn't realize what had happened. I think he could have come around and got that one, but nothing doing. And, man, is that ever going to work in the favor of the Tigers?
Yeah, instead of being on a punt return or having to go the distance of the field, the Tigers will start on the Bulldog 22-yard line. 1st down and 10. And at just approaching the 5-minute mark in the first quarter, they'll try to add to their lead of 20-0. Skiatook continuing with a 3-man front. The Tiger offensive line continued to do a good job to give Berlowitz time as well as open holes for running backs. Jones, lone setback. 2 wide receivers near side. Jones takes around the corner. He has some room inside the 20. Makes a move and eventually taken down.
Eventually.
Levi Garrett had him, and I thought, okay, he's taking him down. Well, then, Noah does not give up.
Right.
He fights for extra yards, and he got another 1.5 yards, maybe 2. He'll be taken down eventually around the, we're going to call it the 16-yard line.
I cannot overstate enough the difference between Noah Jones over the last 2 years, the confidence that he is running with over the last 2 years that he struggled with in the first 2. And, man, he expects the extra yardage now.
Berlowitz passes to Jones. Touchdown, Tigers.
Right on cue, Noah Jones in for the Tigers. 6 more points.
Now, the awesome thing about that play is you do the feint, the turn and the fake handoff to Jones, which can mislead somebody in the secondary to think it might be a handoff going that direction. However, once Berlowitz pulls back, that secondary is now looking for who did I miss? Who am I supposed to be on? Here's a fake on the extra point attempt, that swinging gate action, and that looked like it was good. So Hilligoss takes that one in. The 2-point conversion is good.
2-point conversion for the Tigers.
Tigers back at 7s, 28-0. And I just wanted to finish that statement real quick.
Go ahead.
Whenever that happens, then Noah goes on that wheel route right around the sideline. He's wide open. Berlowitz puts a nice pass right into his hands away. It was designed touchdown.
So Cushing's going to be 28-0 now. You know, one of the things that I've mentioned over the years several times is the fact that the Tigers have oftentimes struggled in the secondary. If there's ever been a weak point throughout the years, even on good championship runs, even in 2016, the corners sometimes have struggled with size, with speed, with different things. That is not the case this year. The Tigers are as solid on defense as I believe I have ever seen them. And we haven't talked about that enough because of this impressive, explosive offense that we have.
Well, and I think that, a couple times during the year, that was one of the reasons that, especially the Wagner game being one of the first real tests. Wagner's still hanging around statewide in the rankings, 6 or 4, depending on who you look at. Only loss in district play, of course, to the Tigers. Matheson kicks this one off. That's almost recovered by the Tigers. Instead, White will cover that one up, and he'll start there from his own 36-yard line, first down and 10.
That's exactly right. And, people look at the Wagner game, and they say, well, I've heard this so many times, well, Wagner wasn't that good. Wagner is good. Wagner is a very good quality team. It's just how good Cushing's defense was that made them look like they weren't a good team, and they are.
And that was one of the games that we pointed out was the most valuable player, right. Was the entire defensive unit for the work that they had done and continue to do week in and week out. This pass to the left side is complete. On the stop is Ace Wright. That's going to be Alex Morgan, senior wide receiver for the Bulldogs. Gain of 7 on the play brings up second down 3.
You guys can hear a little bit of wind on our microphones. We've got the door open, letting it come through the press box here. And by press box, I literally mean a little itty-bitty box on this visitor side.
I'm reminded of a can of sardines.
I'm wondering if this isn't the smallest one we've been in this year. Maybe.
Pass to the left side complete. So Skiatook picks up the first down of the game. That pass complete to Chris Eustace.
Nice adjustment by Eustace getting back to the ball there for Skiatook. That one well underthrown, at least 2 yards, and he's able to get back to it and make the reception first down for Skiatook.
So you've tried the deep ball a few times. You've overthrown your wide receivers. You're not having much luck in the running game. So you go to a shorter, quicker passing out into the flats area. A couple of those have fallen incomplete. However, those two have been held onto and result in a first down. So the Bulldogs at the 47-yard line, first down and 10. White has single in the backfield, fires to the left side. This one's too high. On the coverage for the Tigers again was Wright.
And I believe that was intended for number 9, Nate Ledbetter, and Ledbetter can be very thankful that one was too high. I believe
Wright was in a perfect position. He was in the right position, right?
For a punishing blow on that one.
Absolutely. This time, Bulldogs with 2 wide receivers to the far side. They do have the fullback in the backfield as possibly a lead blocker for Jackson. Haven't seen them use that very much. But, of course, that interior, the entire defense, but the interior guys, including the defensive ends, usually make it hard for a team to run. Just like that coming through.
I was just fixing to say, I wonder when the Tigers are going to make the adjustment, and there you see it right there. Immediately. This is the answer to that question. Immediately.
Matheson comes through on like a linebacker stunt and virtually untouched. The types of things you like to do, even when you're not getting the tackle, you're creating the holes for other men to get through and get the tackle. And this time does result in a 6-yard loss.
Yeah. 5 to 6.
Yeah. Third down, 15-16 to go. This pass downfield, a bit wobbly and just out of reach once again. This time on the coverage for the Tigers.
Jacob Kimmel.
Yeah, Jacob Kimmel.
In stride. Nice coverage by Jacob. He uses the perimeter just like he's supposed to as an extra player. If you can use that out of bounds and just keep pressuring the receiver over there, well, you've won half the battle.
Here's the quick punt again. And this time Crooks will return straight up the middle. Has some blockers downfield. He's got plenty of room, and he cuts back. Nope, he makes the move. Touchdown, Tigers!
Listen, Berlowitz thought he was going to cut back. He pulled Berlowitz in it and then had to get back for the block, but it was too late. He went right around, didn't need the block on the outside, as Crooks catches 2 or 3 extra gears and in again for the Tigers. It's going to bring it 34-0. Tigers with 2:16 left in the first quarter.
So the hole that you and I saw, that everybody else who is watching, if they're not just listening, saw, was to his right. He does make the head movement and even a half step that direction, which pulled a full step off of the defenders and gave him more of that room down the sideline just to make it happen.
Like I said, he not only fooled the defenders, he fooled his blockers.
Mm-hmm. And when that results in touchdowns, there's nothing wrong with that, including this extra point that is also good. 35-0. Tigers have a commanding lead in the first quarter, 2 minutes and 16 seconds in the first quarter remaining.
We're going to talk about a few more of our sponsors. Matherly Davis Funeral Home. Every life has a story. You can visit them at 402 East Broadway Street in Cushing or 918-225-3103. Matherly Davis Funeral Home. Tell Brent we sent you. Also, Broken Arrow Electric Supply Incorporated. Branch phone is 918-258-3581. Broken Arrow Electric Supply is a full-line electrical material supplier for the residential, commercial, industrial, and OEM markets. Again, call them a call at 918-258-3581. One more here before we go. Frontier Bowl Family Fun Center at 525 East Pine Street in Cushing. 918-225-2413. FrontierBowl.com. They're located a quarter mile north of Highway 33 on Highway 18. Frontier Bowl for all the fun that you can stand. All right. Hey, listen, go by those sponsors. Let them know how much you appreciate them bringing Tiger Football Live here on the Hub Network to all of you. They're the reason that we have it.
So Skiatook changing their return a little bit now. Matheson's kicked short a couple times. They'll have one man deep back at the 10-yard line. Several guys up, starting around the 26.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Travis. While that one's in the air, did Natasha Kemp, our producer, bring this candy in for us?
It's my understanding she did, and
that looks suspiciously like a bunch of leftover Halloween candy that she doesn't want to pay for cavities for her kid. That's what that looks like.
And I say no harm, no foul.
I think we've been bribed, sir.
She wants to make sure it's safe for the kids. Let the adults try it first, right? Here's some that hasn't been tested yet. Bulldogs start from their own 30-yard line. First down and 10, 2 wide receivers near side. Kind of still sitting in that, I guess, a slot position / fullback position. Jackson still in a running back position, and White in the shotgun. And that'll be a tackle made.
2 flags thrown, one from the line, one from back judge. That's going to be a face mask, I do believe. Personal foul, face mask against the Tigers.
I believe that was Moreland in on that stop. Again, he comes through and makes the contact in the backfield.
It was Moreland on the stop. We don't know who it was on the face mask, but we do know it was on the Tigers.
As that play will spot the ball at the Bulldog 45-yard line and another first down. White in the shotgun. Skiatook runs that similar offense that a lot of people use, including our own guys, where they'll now look to the coaching on the sideline and make any adjustments. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 far side. Jackson changes on this play.
Coach Fry's done just a spectacular job with this defense, and it seems like they are very good at making adjustments.
And that was a quarterback keeper to the far side. And eventually in on the play. G.W. Burgett was out there, I believe, and also John Hilligos. Comboing up to make that one work. And a gain of 1. Brings up second down and 9. Bulldogs showing a stacked wide receivers to the near side. Everything, of course, offensively subject to change after signals are made. And it does not. They say stay stacked. As White fires far side, and he has a receiver caught.
Number 20. That is Chris Eustace.
Guess I'm getting used to calling.
Very nice. Nicely played, sir. He seems to be the main target.
And, of course, the Tigers, again, there to defend that. Quick pass into the flat. You give that up, meaning they don't get past you. You don't give up a big play. And the defense is still set to do another play. And that has been the only thing working for the Bulldog offense as of right now. And I think 9.9 times out of 10, a defensive coach would take that all day long. That's going to be the end of our first quarter of play. Your Tigers are up 35 over Skiatook 0.
We'll take a break and hear from our sponsors. Be right back here on the Hub Network.
Relationships with our communities. Come in to find out why our customers always say RCB Bank. That's my bank.
Well, hello, Whitney. How
Hello,
are you?
John. So here's the proposal packet for the new mobile app.
As long as I'm running this thing, there ain't gonna be no mobile app.
Introducing the new mobile app, making your banking experience even easier. It's so easy, even John can use it. Bank of Cushing.
Speaking of foul balls, there, Travis Peary. Someone's got the candy just out of the reach of the fat guy.
Well, not intentionally.
Yeah.
I mean, the fat guy is actually eating it right now, so go with the fatter.
Yes, that's it. The fatter guy can't reach the candy.
See, we put a little sampling out here in between us, and then I can.
I didn't like your sampling. You ate the one that I wanted to eat out of the sampling.
Really?
Yeah, Whoppers are the best.
They are good. That would have not been my guess. That's one of those hit and miss Halloween candies.
So we're going to take a timeout. We'll talk about a few of our sponsors here with the timeout. Want to mention Hard Hat Safety and Glove. You can visit them at hardhatsafetyandglove.com. 405-942-9500 in Oklahoma City or Tulsa, 918-627-3008. A new sponsor this year, Hard Hat Safety and Glove. LLC is your complete source for personal protective equipment and safety supplies. Safety gear, apparel, work gloves, safety glasses, hard hats, earplugs, respirators, FR safety clothing, first aid kits, ergonomic safety signs, traffic control signs, barriers, full protection, rainwear, work boots, gas detectors, industrial supplies, hydration products, and much, much, much more. Hard Hat and Safety.com. Also, Kim's Bookkeeping and Tax Service. Give them a call at 918-225-1364. Give them a visit at 403 North Cleveland Avenue in Cushing. Kim's Bookkeeping and Tax Service.
As the Bulldogs return from their timeout right after the quarter changed. Let's see. We've got a 3rd down and 3. And the Bulldogs are in a Tiger territory, spotted at the 48-yard line. This quarterback keeper over the left side may get a yard on the game. G.W. Burgett in on that stop.
As well as John Hilgas.
So they're going to give it's about a yard gain, but the ball is spotted in a funny position. We'll put it just on the inside of the 47-yard line.
4th down. Looks like the Bulldogs are going to go for it, or at least attempt to get the Tigers offside, maybe. Nope. There we go.
Pass out in the flat. It's a backward pass. It's still alive for Burgett to intercept. And he does. And on the Oski, he'll make his way out to the 45-yard line before eventually being taken out of bounds.
Oh, man. JW wanted around that corner so bad. You could see it in his eyes from here. He wanted around the corner so bad. Nice interception for Burgett, and great return as well.
Yeah, interesting play call. Tiger defense not caught off guard. Defensive secondary staying in their positions for the most part at home, you would say, and in the right position to get that one picked off and returned to few. Start 1st down and 10 from their own 43-yard line.
A lot of people that haven't played football don't understand at this time of the season, one of the most important things that players have to do is play position football. Don't get caught playing out of yourself. Play your position and play it well and stay in your lane. And that's exactly what the Tigers are doing. Oh, my goodness. Noah Jones. Oh.
A shoestring away from another big touchdown. Instead, White gets just enough to bring him down. He'll be inside the 30, called to 29-yard line. It will be a first down and 10.
The confidence with which the Tigers are running right now. And Jones dumped up on his head and all the way around. A little gymnastic move there at the end.
He might be trying to let her in 2 sports this year.
Right.
Or maybe 3 or 4 if we count some of the others.
You know, credit to the coaching staff. This year, it just seems like all across the board, they are just coaching with such a confidence in the Tigers.
Berlowitz on a 5-step drop, fires this one downfield with the wind, has a man. It's Brody Berlowitz. Touchdown, Tigers! Berlowitz to Berlowitz, and the score 41-0 as the Tiger offense strikes again.
Boy, that was nice, and you know, Brody just able to sit down in the back of the end zone and let that one fall right in his lap.
So we talked earlier in the game about a quarterback adjusting to the wind and being against the wind. I'm going to go with Blaze didn't have any trouble adjusting to changing the sides of the field. That was a beautiful pass.
That's what I meant earlier when I said good quarterbacks make it look easy, and it is extremely difficult to all of a sudden go from throwing against the wind to with it. It is unbelievably difficult.
Yeah, Matheson with his extra point and might have been good from about 30 yards. 42-0. Tigers commanding the lead again at 9:54 remaining in the second quarter.
Well, I just can't help but think we're going to see some changes quickly. Clayton, Land Service LLC, pipeline maintenance, welding, traco, backhoe, dozer, dump trucks, haul trucks, right-of-way clearing, weed control, mowing, sandblasting, painting, and power washing. And we call 918-223-5001. Tell Clayton we sent you.
So the Tiger offense been on fire so far. We're just at just under 10 minutes remaining in the first half, and offense have done what you expect them to do. Defense has done what they're expected to do, and so far so good in week number 10. The Bulldogs now will have 2 return deep. Wouldn't be surprised to see Matheson try to put this out of the end zone just as much as the wind's blowing behind his back. It doesn't mean that's what the coach was wanting to do. We'll see what he does. So if he gets the go sign, he may just take it. There's the kick. It will be to the 2-yard line and then go as a touchback. So the kickoff team does its job, and the Tiger defense take the field once again. Tiger defense has been, rocking and rolling the past several games. Being able to, some people might just see the score and not know that the starting offense has not given up some of those touchdowns that have been scored late in games the past several weeks. And I think they've taken a pride in that. I know the coaching staff does, and fans do as well. So they continue to, and even as players have had to be injured or come back, move people around to fill those positions. Been very fortunate. Here's White firing deep down the far sideline. Had a receiver there, but he also had
Ace Wright.
Ace Wright there. So
Ace Wright almost made that one right.
I think that pass was intended for Alex Morgan.
Something you start seeing when you see like G.W. Berger getting that and running back, and just the expectation across the board. A lot of teams you see 3 or 4 good players, and they have expectations that are going to do good. But, man, across the board with the Tigers, there's the expectation. I expect to get around the corner. I expect to get down the field. And Ace Wright, like, hey, I can get to that. And just the confidence that brings.
Yeah, 1 minute you're on coverage, and when you see the ball or you see the eyes of the wide receiver turn, you turn and realize, ooh, I can get that. You make a quick adjustment. Yeah. You're almost there. And that's what you look for, obviously, in a good defensive secondary. That, the quarterback keeper, and it looks like
1, 2, maybe nothing.
Yeah, maybe a
Line of
short
scrimmage,
gain.
maybe? I don't know.
Looked like Burgett came in for the stop.
Yes, sorry.
In addition to whether or not he got it, I guess it's a loss of 1. So it brings up 3rd down and 11. Burgett in the middle linebacker position. Matheson shows blitz, backs up. This pass inside, caught.
Kimmel timed that one perfect. Good defense by Kimmel.
Yeah, and Eustace on the catch. So another short pass working for the Bulldogs. But the defense is there. Don't give up a big play. It brings up 4th down. You've kept them at bay. Brings up 4th down and 4, maybe 5.
You know, Jacob Kimmel's probably a step or 2 away from jumping the route on that one.
Yeah, and credit the timing of the quarterback and the wide receiver on that, because my first thought was, this is going to be picked off.
Oh.
So it's punt and kind of blocked. That's going to be Matheson, who goes one way then the other. He'll make his way down inside the 20, around the 15-yard line.
Let me explain something to you folks. He ran 5 yards back just so he could find somebody hit full steam. That's the kind of player Matheson is. He's running all the way down the side just so he can find somebody to drop a shoulder on. He wants some of that as well.
Yeah, that's one of those, 25-yard returns that actually gains you 10 yards on the field, because you come backwards and then back forward. And
rolls back around. And really what they're doing with that, all joking aside, what they're doing is setting up for blockers to get ahead of them. It allows everybody to kind of reset, get their heads spun the other way, and blocks to get set.
This handoff straight ahead, Horns, the running back. He has room and finds his way. Touchdown, Tigers.
Jacob Horn, I believe that is his second, if I'm not mistaken.
So Horn scores from about around the 20-yard line.
Yes, sir.
After the Matheson pickup on the punt that was partially blocked at the line of scrimmage, defense continuing to make things happen and set the offense up in good position. And here's the Matheson extra point. Hillegas's hold, and it's good.
49-0. I believe we will see 50 before half, if not a lot more. Want to mention AKL Services Incorporated, oil field supplies and services. Give them a call at 918-225-5533. 601 East Pine Street in Cushing under new ownership. Some of the services and supplies offered are sandblasting and welding, skid steer and SkyTrack, oil field trucking and hauling, casing, pipe tanks, and more. Pipe corner and H-post for fencing, auger truck, and anchor settings. That's AKL Services Incorporated. Also, don't forget Randy Robinette, your State Farm agent. Good news, rates just got lower. Give him a call at 918-225-1957 or go by the State Farm office at 1614 East Main Street in Cushing. Oh boy, Travis, this is an exhibition for the Tigers right now.
Well, and certainly the type of play that you want to see, no matter who your opponent is, you do things in a concentrated way. You do things in a methodical and a very strategic way in order to do them right. And the Tigers have done that these past several games. This time Matheson will get a bigger run, kick this off from his own 40-yard line, and there he gets it, and it will go as a touchback. That one hits the middle of the back of the end zone. The Tiger defense back on the field. A Bulldog first down and 10 from their own 20.
Matheson even trying to keep that one down just a little bit, and still carries it all the way through. Nice little line drive there, so to speak.
You almost have the back. It's out of here.
This is World Series rolling on.
And in listening to some of it, watching them, it's a kind of a home run or nothing.
Yeah. Who you liking in this?
I haven't actually. We were on the trip when it started, and we didn't get much chance to watch it start, and so I'm just kind of catching up the past couple of days. I thought
there was a no-no in the World Series.
Yeah, and I thought at one time that just out of the the Philadelphia Eagles doing good in football and Philadelphia being in the the Philly being, I thought, okay, maybe it's going to be a Philly year.
So we'll hear from a few more of our sponsors here. While they are taking a timeout, CBEW Professional Group LLP CPAs, they say go Tigers. In income tax planning, preparation, business consulting, bookkeeping, payroll, and training. You see them in Cushing, Pawnee, or Stillwater's what they serve at 918-225-4216 or www.cbew.com. CBEW Professional Group, LLC. Also, quality for your whole family. That's Cushing Family Practice, a member of Stillwater Medical. Now the new location, 2340 East Main Street in Cushing. Schedule an appointment at 918-725-1901. Call McCauley, Dr. McCauley, Blair Blankenship, and Amber Reinecke will get you taken care of.
So if you're just joining us, the clock now approaching 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Tigers have a 49-0 lead, and the defense has done impeccable as the offense has scored pretty much at will. That pass to the near side, again in the flats where the Bulldogs have had success. They haven't had huge success. They've just been able to complete some passes. That is Alex Morgan getting up a little slow.
Yes, sir, and Burgett on the tackle for the Tigers. And you can hear the wind is actually picking up.
It has, yeah. And the flag is a lot more, directly horizontal.
Mm-hmm.
They will substitute Morgan at this point as he was a little shaken up on that play down around the ankle foot area.
Hey, it says that Jamie Briggs Caulfield is watching. I want to say hello to my lovely wife, and thanks for joining us on the Hub Network. Kenny Longbreak, we see you watching as well. Jennifer Hickson, thanks for joining us.
White now in a little bit of trouble. Fires, probably just, getting rid of that one. He had a receiver trying to make a route open up. That's Eustace. However, with the pressure in the backfield, I want to say that's Moreland and Heisler providing that pressure in the backfield. White had no choice but to throw that one away.
Yep. I'm looking here at the wind while you're calling this play right now. Well, that's Cushing. That's not going to tell us anything.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Well, some people might want to know what it's like back home.
It's stepped up to 18 mile an hour now here in Skiatook. A beautiful 74 degrees.
White with the snap, looks right, fires, and that one's incomplete, just a little low. Intended receiver, I believe, was 33.
It was. White a senior, and just seems like all of his passes are just a little bit behind. And it may be some of that to do with the wind. Maybe he hasn't made the adjustment, and some of it could be the intimidation factor of playing the Tigers as well.
Well, one of the things that can be very difficult, of course, to that credit would be we've talked about how our wideouts and defensive backs are right there with the wide receivers. So then you start to try to put that special touch on the ball. And that can be very difficult for any quarterback to try to place the ball where they want it instead of just firing it in there. And that can sometimes start to tweak your where your passes go. This punt will roll dead around the 45-yard line, 1st down and 10 to the Tigers.
It's one of those things that as you come in here, like I said, the intimidation factor, but it's also, Skiatook, it's hard whenever, we saw this Skiatook, they don't have a very deep field. They couldn't get a lot of guys out, and Skiatook evidently playing with a lot of injured players, so a lot of freshmen out there on the field. And, it's, Mama said there would be nights like this, and there is definitely a night like this for Skiatook. As the Tigers.
Berlowitz passes over into the flats. Jones all alone. He has plenty of running room. Beats a man. Gets across the 40. Gets across the 30. Makes another man miss. Down inside the 10. Touchdown. Tigers. Noah Jones from the pass in the flats. What can you say about that?
Nobody around him. The corner comes up to try to pick him up late, and it's one of those. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those that, he catches it and takes off, and everything is Noah Jones from there on. And as you say, we're going to call that the Blue Sky Bank big Tiger play. I was waiting for you to say it. Sorry. You gave it to me a second. Key it back to you. Sometimes it works, folks. Sometimes it doesn't.
I wasn't looking at your eyes.
Blue Sky Bank, a big Tiger play there for the Tigers.
And that'll be the extra point by Matheson, bringing our grand total right now, Tigers 56, Skiatook 0. And just back quickly to what you said, that pass opened up in the flats. All the other action on the field was on our side, and it just gave Noah Jones nothing but room to do what he does.
You know, one of the things I love about that is he gets so much room around the defenders. They're trying to catch up to him that he actually accelerates going into the end zone because he's made up so much space.
And you know, a running back like Jones, whether he's on a catch or he's on a run, with his speed, and it can be a little bit deceiving because he has that patience to wait for blocks to open up. When he kicks it in, you may be off your angle and you have no chance to catch him, where other times you may start to overshoot the angle and then he accelerates and you don't get him again. So there's all kinds of ways that just make him crafty and very talented at what he does in his position. Matheson will continue to kick now from his own 40-yard line once again. The wind is picked up, is out of the south. He'll have that at his back. He's put 2 in the end zone as touchbacks, and he'll get what appears to be another running start for a similar result. And we see that one up and down right where he likes it, middle of the end zone, out the back. So Skiatook will start now. First down and 10 from their own 20. The Tiger defense back on the field. 3:45 remaining in our opening half.
I'm going to mention – I started to mention Nafis, but Nafis is closed down for now until, I believe, after the first of the year, maybe they're going to open it back up. Jeff Beasley has bought that, but, that's a sad day, man. A sad day.
Yeah, but I think, from the other side of that is good to see that the community will still have an opportunity to go back and the recipes stay intact.
I believe it's going to be more of a lunch time, if I'm not mistaken. So
this pass out in the flats, Crooks on the tackle, and if you haven't been tackled, welcome to the game. He can really put a lick on. And does in that case. Gain of maybe 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 8. Tiger defense been good all night. On this 2nd down and 8, Skiatook will play from their own 21-yard line. Maybe closer to the 20. That 4-man front from the Tigers has been in the backfield many times tonight, playing havoc. And again, right there, almost gets
that one
to the quarterback.
Long gone. He was saving his life with that pass.
I believe might have been Horn applying the pressure.
Yeah, it was. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We want to remind everybody, stick around for RCB at the half and Votes Notes. Give us all the stats and goodies that we can stand.
So, incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 9. The Bulldogs with 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far. The snap to White, fires over the right side and way out of reach. Wright was there on the coverage. The pass was intended for Jackson, who came out of the backfield, so you credit Wright for picking that one up as he comes out of the backfield. The pass was nowhere near catchable, so the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down. Most likely see White punt this one again. A little bit of confusion on the Bulldogs side as some players run around to change their position. The snap to White and the punt. Decent punt into the wind. Crooks calls fair catch at the 45-yard line. That's where the Tigers will take over 1st down and 10. Tiger offense has come out all evening and had, big play after big play. And that works in a lot of ways in a positive way. And then when needed to, some normal smaller plays have turned into big plays. But that's thanks to the blocking and what the line has been able to do. And we told you earlier in the game, we'd mentioned some more of those guys. Michael Cruz is another one of those on the offensive line who does a fantastic job. This is a pulling tackle from the far side. He creates the hole for Jones, and he makes his way down to the 25-yard line. And I believe that is, just double check, I believe that's Aiden Spencer, yep, on that pull from the far side. He comes over and kicks a guy out, opening a huge hole. and Jones does what he does from there.
One of my favorite Myers, Hagen Myers, is watching from Cushing. Hagen, I miss you. Glad to see you watching and join us on the Hub Network. Also, our unofficial official, Daniel Van, who gives us all of the information and cleans up what we mess up on all the official calls, is watching as well as Stacy Malloy and Mark Kerrigan-Wiley. Appreciate all you guys watching on the Hub Network.
Jones with a nice spin move, reaches for the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
Just like that, the Tigers are on the board again.
And another one of those linemen, and he is on that left side of the line. Brett Griffith did a great job. He's been in a pull situation, but in that case, he was a straight-ahead guy, and Jones made one guy miss and then put on the move to reach in and get over, and a nice job to the offensive line once again.
And that one as time is expiring in the half. Talk about, wanting to step on the gas. The Tigers have definitely done that.
So Jones making his way over to the sideline, talking with Coach Moore just a bit. Looked like he got up a little bit slow, but he's doing fine, so probably just a little sore after the play. Tigers will attempt the point after. Hillegas comes out to hold. Matheson to do the kicking duties, extra point duties.
And once again, folks, we will be taking a break here in just a minute. Hear from some of our sponsors, and stick around for Votes Notes. He'll have all of the stats, and there's going to be a lot of them for this first half with 62 points by your Tigers.
And the hold by Hillegas, the kick by Mathis. Madison's good, and like that at halftime. Tigers up 63 over Skiatook 0, and you're listening to it right here on Hub Network Live, Cushing.
We'll hear from some of our sponsors. Be right back for RCB at the half and Votes Notes.
A branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
We have a help tab if you need help. We will have.
Oh, need help. I'm pretty good at chess.
You are good at this.
Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank Pawhuska, wants you to know they are still the same friendly hometown bank. Local people that live, work, and worship right here in Cushing. Providing you the same great service, more convenient products and technology, making your local banking experience even better. A great bank, serving a great community. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank Pawhuska.
Be sure you know what's below and call 811 before you dig.
Show your Tiger spirit everywhere you go with the Bank of Cushing Tiger Card. Every swipe helps support Cushing Public Schools for those everyday purchases that make life so much easier. Breakfast, lunch and dinner, at the gym, at the doctor's office, or taking your pet to the vet. Use the best-looking debit card in Cushing. It's a killer way to support Cushing Public Schools. Show your spirit with the Tiger Card from Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
RCB Bank is more than a transaction. We work to make your life easier. We help build your business. We finance your dreams. We grow your legacy. We build relationships with our communities. Come in to find out why our customers always say, RCB Bank. That's my bank.
Well, hello, Whitney. How
Hello,
are you?
John. So here's the proposal packet for the new mobile app.
As long as I'm running this thing, there ain't gonna be no mobile app.
Introducing the new mobile app, making your banking experience even easier. It's so easy, even John can use it. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
We have a help tab if you need help. We will have...
I don't need help. I'm pretty good at this.
You are good at this.
Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska, wants you to know they are still the same friendly hometown bank. Local people that live, work, and worship right here in Cushing. Providing you the same great service, more convenient products and technology, making your local banking experience even better. A great bank, serving a great community. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
Be sure you know what's below and call 811 before you dig.
Show your Tiger spirit everywhere you go with the Bank of Cushing Tiger Card. Every swipe helps support Cushing Public Schools for those everyday purchases that make life so much easier. Breakfast, lunch and dinner, at the gym, at the doctor's office, or taking your pet to the vet. Use the best-looking debit card in Cushing. It's a killer way to support Cushing Public Schools. Show your spirit with the Tiger Card from Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
RCB Bank is more than a transaction. We work to make your life easier. We help build your business. We finance your dreams. We grow your legacy. We build relationships with our communities. Come in to find out why our customers always say, RCB Bank. That's my bank.
Well, hello, Whitney. How
Hello,
are you?
John. So here's the proposal packet for the new mobile app.
As long as I'm running this thing, there ain't gonna be no mobile app.
Introducing the new mobile app, making your banking experience even easier. It's so easy, even John can use it. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
We have a help tab if you need help. We will have.
Oh, need help? I'm pretty good at this.
You are good at this.
Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska, wants you to know they are still the same friendly hometown bank. Local people that live, work, and worship right here in Cushing. Providing you the same great service, more convenient products and technology, making your local banking experience even better. A great bank, serving a great community. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
Be sure you know what's below and call 811 before you dig.
$63-0, Skiatook, Oklahoma. Your Tigers up, and we're ready for the RCB halftime report. I'm Bruce Votes Notes, along with Joe Kennedy here by my side. He's going to help me out here a little bit as soon as we go over some of these stats. Stats are pretty typical of what we've seen all year long out of the Tigers here in the first half. Berlowitz, 12 attempts, 246 yards. That's just pretty much right down where he usually is every game and has been so far this year. 5 touchdowns for Berlowitz passing. On the receiving end of that, they came out fast. They came out strong. And Crooks came out with 2 catches, 41 yards. Yount, 2 catches, 49 yards. And Brady Madison, I mean, he was throwing him some darts in there in that first half. And Brady Madison just hung on to him, 2 touchdowns, 3 completions for 42 yards. Jones had 3 completions for 84 yards and a couple of touchdowns, as well as Brody Berlowitz on that long 29-yard touchdown reception. So Tigers are doing what they've done all year long, Joe.
Well, of course they are, and the score reflects that. This is another one of those probably 70-7 games, if the 7 even is going to get there or not. I don't think that's going to happen, but it is exactly what they've been doing all year long, and they really, except we talked about this last week, really except for Perkins early on, there really hadn't been too much of a challenge going forward. And I think that was less Perkins now than maybe just Cushing finding their stride.
Exactly.
Totally.
You're absolutely right. And, on that rushing side, Jones, he's got 7 carries, 110 yards with a touchdown. And Horn, I just like Jacob Horn. He's just a straight-up runner. He'll find a path through there. And he has 2 rushes, 31 yards, 2 touchdowns. Big story is, and I know, Joe, you've been on the board relentless here trying to, keep everything afloat. But Crooks has been just a demon down there on the field.
Yeah,
I mean, he has just lowered his shoulders and just put some pops on some people on some of these punt returns.
I would say the good thing about that is that if you're thinking that because the Tigers are going to go, well, I'm pretty safe to say going to go 10-0. I'm not going to get Jared Kennedy on me too much by jinxing it early, but I'm just saying, they're not complacent. They're not sitting around waiting on the game to come to them. They're still being the aggressors in the game, and that's what you want to see. Everybody talks about, when you get ahead, are you keeping the foot on the gas pedal? Are you finishing the game? I would say, well, they're finishing the game. They're doing it pretty early in the second quarter most of the time, but they are completely finishing the game. They're getting their other players in the game, building the program, and they're preparing for the playoffs coming up.
Exactly, and I think Crooks is ready for it. I mean, he has played. He's lowered that head, and he has hit some hard hits, and you can see him getting mentally psyched up for that. And again, if I hadn't said Horn had 2 carries, 31 yards, a couple touchdowns. Crooks had in that first period had that 62-yard punt return. Since then, he's just been calling fair catches and letting it go. I just want to say something about that defensive line. You've had Horn in there. And number 62, Hill, has just been a beast on that defensive line.
Well,
he has raised havoc in that backfield on the quarterback, on the punter. He's got a block punt. And, he's in there on every play. And I've just been so impressed with Hill tonight.
They're the unsung heroes of this Tiger football team this year because everybody's talking about all the offensive weapons and all that they can do on offense. But really, this defense has not let very many. Matter of fact, if you really break it down, when the first team defense has been on the field, I don't think there's much scoring that's happened at all. Right. And there's been a lot of shutouts by the first string defense here, even though there's been a few games that they put some points on the board, but that's come later in the game. Not really anything that's challenged the Tigers early on, and that's a lot to say about this Tiger defense. And I think, they always say defense wins championships, and I can tell you right now, this defense is going to show up in the playoffs, and it's going to be a big deal.
Well, they definitely showed up tonight as, Burgett. He's killing them out there. He's got an interception. He has 4 or 5 tackles. It's like I say, this defense has been all over the place with Kimmel, Wright, Yount, Hilligoss, Jones. Everybody has been a big part of this defense, and you're right. The defense has really, really shined thus far in the first half. With that's pretty much the stats. Aaron Hubbard has kept me up to date with a couple of things, so I appreciate him back watching all this. But I appreciate everybody coming and watching, and all of our sponsors. RCB Bank for sponsoring this halftime show each and every week.
Well, we appreciate Curtis down there at Curtis Bales down there at RCB Bank and all the crew down there at RCB Bank. Mm-hmm. And we just can't say enough about all these guys that sponsor the fact that we come out here and put these games on each week, and we appreciate all that. A lot to be said. We're moving into some new stuff with the playoffs. You're going to start seeing, like tonight, we've got 2 cameras going. It's a whole different operation when you start doing 2 cameras. We're running down a few little problem areas, getting a few glitches out and some things, but mainly giving the crew a chance to kind of work that a little bit tonight. So I appreciate you giving me some time to talk about that a little bit. But the amazing thing about all of these games with the Tigers this year have just been that they have been solely focused on their job, and that is to get through the season. They became district champs. They've got that knocked out of the way. They're going to have a perfect season all the way through. That's going to be an incredible thing for the Tigers. And then we're going to start into the playoffs, and that's going to be exciting all the way through. And I think in the back of everybody's mind, there's going to be a pretty deep run in these playoffs coming up, Bruce.
Exactly. And RCB will continue with this halftime report and votes, notes, and and along with all of our other sponsors. So please go out there and just kind of thank them as you go along throughout your day. We want to thank you for joining us. And Joe, I can't say enough for the Hub Network and bringing this to everybody. And we are just so grateful to have you doing that.
Well, I'd like to say it's a lot of fun. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's a lot of work.
Right.
But you know what? You guys have been doing this all year, and I have to say to all of you guys, thank you for keeping everything going. Thank you for the job that you've done.
Thank you.
In spite of my poor effort to be with you guys early on in the season, and it feels good to be back up in the press box with you guys and to be alongside you here and to be involved with the crew again. And it's looking forward to going into these playoffs coming up. And we've got an extended season coming up with the Tigers here. It's going to be a lot of fun to cover.
We got 4 more weeks to go.
At least 4 more weeks.
And we're gonna take it and we're gonna go. Yeah. And with everybody's help, you got it right here on the Hub Network. RCB Bank halftime votes notes 63-0 halftime Skiatook, Oklahoma. We'll be back.
Show your Tiger spirit everywhere you go with the Bank of Cushing Tiger Card. Every swipe helps support Cushing Public Schools for those everyday purchases that make life so much easier. Breakfast, lunch and dinner, at the gym, at the doctor's office, or taking your pet to the vet. Use the best-looking debit card in Cushing. It's a killer way to support Cushing Public Schools. Show your spirit with the Tiger Card from Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
RCB Bank is more than a transaction. We work to make your life easier. We help build your business. We finance your dreams. We grow your legacy. We build relationships with our communities. Come in to find out why our customers always say RCB Bank. That's my bank.
Hello, Whitney. How
Hello,
are you?
John. So here's the proposal packet for the new mobile app.
As long as I'm running this thing, there ain't gonna be no mobile app.
Introducing the new mobile app, making your banking experience even easier. It's so easy, even John can use it. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
We have a help tab if you need help. We will have.
Oh, need help. I'm pretty good at this.
You are good at this.
Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska, wants you to know they are still the same friendly hometown bank. Local people that live, work, and worship right here in Cushing. Providing you the same great service, more convenient products and technology, making your local banking experience even better. A great bank, serving a great community. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
Be sure you know what's below and call 811 before you dig.
Show your Tiger spirit everywhere you go with the Bank of Cushing Tiger Card. Every swipe helps support Cushing Public Schools for those everyday purchases that make life so much easier. Breakfast, lunch and dinner, at the gym, at the doctor's office, or taking your pet to the vet. Use the best-looking debit card at Cushing. It's a killer way to support Cushing Public Schools. Show your spirit with the Tiger Card from Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank, Pawhuska.
RCB Bank is more than a transaction. We work to make your life easier. We help build your business. We finance your dreams. We grow your legacy. We build relationships with our communities. Come in to find out why our customers always say, RCB Bank. That's my bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Skiatook, Oklahoma, where tonight your Tigers getting ready to kick off the opening of the second half, up 63-0 over the Skiatook Bulldogs as Aiden Spencer set to kick. And we'll send that one down to the 15-yard line on a one hopper. Will be taken by the Bulldogs out to the 20 and across the 30 and makes his way across the 37-yard line before eventually being driven out of bounds. And we'll look as numbers get a little bit back across the field. Number 34, Nate Endicott, in on that stop. And the Bulldogs will start first down and 10 from their own 36-yard line. And there will be a running clock here in the second half as the Tigers have that 63-0 lead. We'd like to thank RCB Bank as our halftime RCB Bank at the half, sponsoring Votes Notes and knowing that information, entertainment value, and great stats brought to us by Bruce Vogt. Here's a handoff straight ahead, and that tackle made by the Tigers' number 71, Michael Cruz.
Travis, have you asked your fancy question yet, or are we holding that off?
No, I was going to ask that here in just a couple minutes, waiting to get underway here. Second down and 9, gain of 1 on that play.
So we were talking about earlier, kind of like what we expect to see. And it is an interesting mix in 4A football where you have a lot of 2, 3s, and 4s who have each beat each other. So,
yeah, and for those who are not as familiar with Oklahoma high school football, the top of one district, as that play is broken up, number 17, Lane Wood on the stop, as the number 1 in one district will play the number 4 of another district. And this year in the first round, we're paired against District 4A4, and the 2 in our district will play the 3 of that other district.
Right.
And then henceforth and so forth throughout the rest of the brackets. And we'll do some more talking about that later. So where you finish in your district can be very important heading into playoff situations, who you may or may not draw. But as they say, you got to play everybody at some point.
That's
or
right.
Somebody who beat them at some point. So there's no easy path. White back to pass. He's flushed from the pocket. Almost tackled. Eventually stays under pressure. That Horn providing pressure in the backfield. Jacob Horn. Incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
Was it? Was it Horn or Kiowa Tate?
Could have been Kiowa at this point. He was on the far side of the field at number 8.
Yeah, I just can't tell if it's an 8 or 9. I struggle with that number from this distance.
8s and 9s are fun, and Skiatook has the black on red, which makes, you would think that the Tigers with a black outline around an orange on a white would be easier to see. Now, I will say this. I'm looking through a dirty windshield.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, you can slide over anytime you need and see a little bit better. My problem is I just looking through 52-year-old eyes. So I don't think it's the jerseys or the numbers. I think it's more a me problem than a them problem. I want to talk about a few more of our sponsors here. Hillcrest Hospital in Cushing, treating emergencies like emergencies. Whether it's chest pain, broken bone, burn, or any other sudden healthcare emergency, you'll receive responsive, patient-centered, compassionate care at Hillcrest Hospital in Cushing. Get back to better health faster at 1027 South Cherry Street in Cushing.
Tiger offense takes the field. This will be
Hilligoss.
Hilligoss with the quarterback keeper over the right side. He's taken down by number 51. That's Chris Turley. After a gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards, brings up second down 7. Spots the ball at the 48-yard line.
We said mentioned some of these players out there. Number 7, Carlos Moncada on the field. Number 71 on the line, Michael Cruz.
Next to him, 68, Kason Brandon.
I believe 78, Logan Fisher out there. Is that right on the far side? Maybe 70.
You mentioned Moncada. He's at the center position.
Yes, sir.
The backside pulls, opens up a hole, and this time gets close to the 45-yard line.
So taking over those duties from Mr. Schuler, a fine job he has done all season long at center.
And Caden Morton, the ball carrier for the Tigers. So the gain is good for a Tiger first down and 10. And spots the ball just shy of the 45-yard line in Bulldog territory. 3 wide receivers far side. 2 of those are Fitchie and Peterson. 1 to the near side. Morton still in the backfield, and Hilligoss again at quarterback. He'll hand off. Nope, keeps, and goes quarterback keeper over the right side. Finds the hole and gets down inside the 40-yard line. He'll be taken down by number 13. That's Marvin Johnson.
The other one on the far side. I'm getting there in a minute. I believe number 17.
Yeah, Lane Wood probably.
Yep. On this near side. I can't see. I'll get to it in a minute.
Good times.
Number 30.
Hilligoss's pass complete. Wood with the reception. He gets down inside the 20-yard line or right to it, and another Tiger first down and 10.
Wyatt DeLong is the receiver on this side. That's who I was trying to get to and finally got there. Wyatt DeLong.
So the Tiger second offense out, marching down the field, much like the first offense, very methodically. Hand off to Morton, Noah keeper by Hilligoss. He'll find room on the right side, gets down inside the 10. Touchdown, Tigers.
Wow.
Hilligoss found a way. I thought he was getting ready to get tackled near the 5, and he just did a little whoop.
Sliding left, sliding right, sliding left, sliding right, and rolling into the end zone. John Hilligoss for the touchdown.
You know, that play is designed, and it oftentimes fools me to a degree because it's like a run-pass option. The quarterback has the option to hand off on that fake if it looks like it's opened up to the left side. But if he sees that hole on the right side, he keeps.
Right.
And he takes that hole. And Hilligoss on a couple runs that time handed off and kept it long enough to fool the defense, pulls it back out, keeps it. Here's a missed snap. That'll be picked up. This time Fitchie, I believe. Yep, he'll end up getting tackled.
Oh, boy. You know,
he made as most out of that as he could have, trying to make something out of nothing.
As he come around that, you can't blame him for doubling back. He's coming around this side, and all he sees is black jerseys in front of him, and doubles back right into a defender. Another one of our fine sponsors this year, Cushing Primary Care, another member of Stillwater Medical. Good health begins with great primary care. Now in their new facility at 600 South Linwood in Cushing. Give them a call at 918-725-1599. Hours Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Walk-ins welcome, accepting most insurances, including Sooner Care. Good health begins with great primary care. That's Dr. Grillner, Lisa No, Dr. Hightower, Courtney Elliott, Bethany Jenkins, and Jamie Griffith. Go give them a visit, and they will make you feel better.
Okay, so tonight's question for all Tiger fans to chime in, give us your thoughts. I do have an answer. However, I'll give that to you later in the game. It may need a little bit of verification, which is kind of what makes this fun, and do a little research in between games. When was the last time, what year was the last time the Tigers had a perfect regular season? Tonight, they will go 10-0. When was the last time that happened? Kick by Spencer is a one-hopper taken around the 12-yard line. That is Jackson with the return. He'll be eventually taken down around the 27.
Yeah, and I don't want to give that one away, but I think that there were some people that answered on the last trivia question, answered that, said that we went 10-0 on a particular season. So when was the last time the Tigers went
undefeated? Now, because it
10-0 in district.
Yeah, well, in a regular season.
Undefeated in regular season.
In a regular season game, went undefeated with a perfect record. And I say that because at some point in this research, I'm not sure they played a full 10 games.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So give us your thoughts and debate a little bit. Talk about what you remember, don't remember, and maybe just take a wild guess. As the Bulldogs get underway here from the 28-yard line, a handoff to Jackson on the right side. Has a little bit of running room. Several Tigers there in on the stop. And with that said, they all got up together and they all stayed together. I want to say number 28 was in on the play, Tommy Rolfe, and 41 comes away. Camden Wilson comes away from the pack as well.
Travis, I'm gonna jump in here for just a minute. I want to mention to you guys too that coming back, beginning with the playoffs, we're gonna have a little bit of statistics coming back in, and we're gonna have some different graphics for stats and that sort of thing. And I want to mention too, we're gonna have replay starting next week as well. We're gonna have some of that going on, and that brought to you by Tank Farm Services and some other stuff. So as we move into the playoffs, we're gonna be ramping up our game a little bit too.
Thanks for that, Joe.
So, yeah, there you hear it, folks. You'll want to make sure and tune in as we get rolling next week in the playoffs. Tigers will have the first round as a home game. And provided they win or lose, most likely, and we'll get to, kind of how the playoff situation looks at maybe here in just a few minutes in the fourth quarter. We're approaching the 2-minute mark in the third quarter as White will do another quarterback keeper, this time the right side. On the last play, it was tackle made by Nathan Walborn. This time, 21? 51. We'll go Kellen Fry on that stop, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 2 for the Bulldogs. Ball spotted at the Bulldog 37-yard line. So the Tiger defense still doing a fantastic job with a shutout thus far. Of course, the starting defense has done that over the past several weeks. And that'll be a whistle and a timeout on the field. Timeout, Bulldogs. So with that timeout, the Tigers will rehuddle. And the Bulldogs will rethink that next play as we are at the 125 mark. Tigers up 69-0.
And, folks, I'm trying to get to those comments to see if anybody's chiming in on that last one. Once again, Travis's question was, when was the last time, and I believe you're meaning the exact year, the Tigers went undefeated in a full regular season?
That is the question, and we see Roman Tucker now also warming up on the sideline for the Tigers. We've talked about throughout the season as the starting offenses put their numbers up and done their thing, it's given younger players a lot more game time experience, and that can be invaluable as you go from season to season. The more playing time players get, the more seasoned they are.
Right, very nice. I like the way you did that.
White's handoff to Jackson on the right side. He finds some room. He'll get the first down out to about the 43-yard line. Carl Peterson and possibly Tommy Rolfe in on that play. Could be Dylan Lewis, that 29-28 thing again.
We mentioned this last week, but I'm seeing it again this week. The Tigers are traveling well and staying with it. Like, everybody's staying. Nobody's leaving early. All of these games that we've had blowouts, even at home, people are staying. People are staying watching online. So
White sneaks through on the left side, finds a little running room, gets his way down near the 45-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Bulldogs. Peterson on the stop. So the Bulldogs finding a little here and a little there, mostly in the running game. They stayed with basically the same formation. They have 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, but these wide receivers on the near side are stacked, which can be troublesome as they start to, crisscross and run different routes. However, the Tiger defense has done well all night defending that. And White again keeps right side. This time, several Tigers in on the play, including, I believe, Tyler Shelton, number 59. And 51 again, I believe you said, Kellen Fry. Bruce helping us do some spotting this time. Our sardine can has gotten a little bit bigger.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the end of the third quarter. And your Tigers are up 69-0 right here on Cushing Hub Network Live.
Hear from some of our sponsors. We'll be right back here on the Hub Network.
RCB Bank is more than a transaction. We work to make your life easier. We help build your business. We finance your dreams. We grow your legacy. We build relationships with our communities. Come in to find out why our customers always say, RCB Bank. That's my bank.
Okay, returning to action at the start of the fourth quarter. Tigers on defense. 2nd down and 7. Handoff to Jackson near side. And he'll be caught from behind and dragged down. That's going to be a tackle by Tommy Rolfe, number 28. He's a 5'11 sophomore. Gain of 1 on the play brings up a 3rd down. They're going to call it 8, I guess. 3rd down and 8. Spots the ball at the Tiger 43-yard line. Stacked wide receivers near side. White gets the signals from the sideline. And the players will check their armbands for the call. And here's White back to pass. Quick pass over the left side in the flat, or in a slant in pattern. That is caught by Eustace.
Well, Travis, I'm trying to find the comments, and of all the craziest things in the world, Tiger Football Live on Facebook, they won't let me go to the live. Of all the people, they're like, decided to block me on the live all of a sudden, so I'll take a peek on the YouTube and see where we're at there. You notice how I said the YouTube, not just YouTube.
It's kind of like the Facebook?
Yeah, in case you were wondering, it's kind of on purpose there. These type of things drive my wife crazy.
That gain for a 1st down and 10. Bulldogs will be at the Tiger 32-yard line.
So we had a few chime in already on YouTube.
White's pass into the end zone looked way overthrown. However, Eustace got his feet tied up and fell to the ground on the play, and a penalty flag comes in for pass interference. Possibly Sam Carpenter out there on the coverage. There's a good thing about being step for step with your guy whenever you're covering him. And then sometimes it turns into a penalty whenever your feet get caught up.
That's exactly right.
And you're going, dang, I didn't, nobody means to ever cause a penalty. But those for sure can be those types of penalties. Good thing that they are, quote unquote, knock on wood, few and far between. Bulldogs will set their offense differently. The 2 wide receivers stacked be on the far side of the field. And White will have Jackson to his right. He'll fake the handoff, try it himself. He'll get a yard, maybe 2. And I want to say, okay, that's going to be Logan Owings in on the stop. And again, a loss of 1 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 11. Moving here now with 8.5 minutes remaining. White looks to the right and fires immediately out into the flats. Eustace with the catch. And a couple Tigers there to break that one up.
Including number 14.
Carl Peterson and Max Tucker, number 31. Good coverage, good stop. That's the pass that's kind of worked for the Bulldogs this evening. As far as gaining yards, it has not been a big play, but it has been something, bearable for as a defensive coach or a defensive fan. You'd be pleased with those results thus far. And I would probably say in that single coverage slant route, maybe something that they look to again, this time far side of the field. They do, and they pass it, but the Tigers were expecting it too, and that one's picked off Carpenter. He has room. He's got White to beat. Now he's got Jackson. Jackson will catch him from behind, but not until he makes his way to the Bulldog 33-yard line.
What a catch and return by Peterson. Man, I thought he was going to break free. Number 1, Jacoby Jackson Jr. runs him down as he gets away from Jace White. I believe was the first one he got away from. And then I thought nothing but old field. Thought he's going to nothing but the end zone. And Jacoby Jackson runs him down.
Yeah, and again, just like we said, if you're playing defense and they've gone to that pass several times, you're so far out there, you can see the green.
Right.
He cheated that inside pass just a touch so that he could step right in front of it and take it back the other direction. And now Roman Tucker, I believe, is a quarterback. He'll hand off up the middle. Plenty of running room there.
Number 27, Caden Morton with that one again.
He's taken down by Eric Rogers, another freshman player for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs have a few seniors this year that graduate, but they are, not necessarily senior heavy. They're not in the 15 to 20 seniors. They have a good group of 9 or 10. This handoff goes left side. It looks like Morton again is the ball carrier. He fights his way down inside the 10, gets to maybe the 7-yard line. That's going to be Marvin Johnson, another freshman.
Man, how tempting would it be as a coach just to hand it off to Caden again? Let's see if he can get in the end zone for the Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely. A gain of 8 on that play brings up 2nd down and 2. The clock approaching the just under the 6.5-minute mark.
He's done the heavy lifting on this series for the Tigers.
There's a handoff again, Morton. And he's got a little bit of room, gets down inside the 5, maybe just inside the 5.
So that's going to be enough for 1st and goal from about the 3 for the Tigers. I like this look with Roman Tucker. John Hilligoss is such a powerful receiver and running back. If they can make this work, that would be a powerful duo stepping up for the Tigers. And either one of them are good at quarterback. But I like what I'm seeing here. Ooh.
That pass just in and out of the hands. I believe that's Peterson, the intended receiver, in the end zone. And, yeah, exactly what you're saying there. Roman has a good arm. Yeah. He's got some height. He's got some speed. And you can utilize Hilligoss in other ways as well. That is finding those players, preparing those players, moving them in different positions is a strength of this Tiger coaching staff throughout the years.
How often does a freshman get this much playing time as he's got this year?
As Morton goes over the right side, untouched.
I don't know if you can see that from here through your dirty glass, but that was an interesting handoff. As it popped off of the hands of Roman Tucker, it hit his hands and popped straight up, and Morton grabs it in the air and takes off.
That is good stuff. And another great credit to the line that's out there as they just sealed off that edge. Everybody on the defense was pushed inward, and it just gave the edge to Morton. He walks in. Now Fitzy on to attempt the point after. The kick is just not high enough to get. It got blocked. Tucker was the holder. And so with 5:07 remaining in the game, Tigers up 75-0.
And that one blocked or drilled into the back of one of the Cushing players. But Cushing Electronics and Radio Shack, we have now Red Cat Racing hobby cars, truck trawlers, and accessories. Come check them out Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 210 East Main Street in Cushing, or give them a call, 918-225-1432. Cushing Electronics and Radio Shack. Also, Pipeline Urgent Care, another member of Stillwater Medical. Stillwater Medical welcomes Ashley Tucker, APRN. Strains, sprains, minor burns and cuts, ears, eye infections, cold and flu, fractures, school physicals, fever, adult immunization, occupational medicine, and more. Walk-ins welcome. On-site lab and x-ray at 102 East Cherry Street in Cushing, or 918-306-4515. That's stillwatermedical.com.
Tigers getting set to kick from their own 40-yard line. Aiden Spencer back on to kick this one away, as the Bulldogs will return. 5:07 remaining in the game. And the Tiger offense getting that score and using up some of the clock as well. So good playing time for all involved. This will be taken, looks like Eustis will take that one and down it right around the 35-yard line. And that's where the Bulldogs will begin, first down and 10.
Just under 5 minutes left in the game, and be sure to stick around for the post-game interview brought to you by Blue Sky Bank there in Cushing. And we'll be talking to Coach Morgan for all of the good information. Also, don't forget the Ortho Oklahoma wrap-up as well, as we wrap this one up and look ahead to the start of playoffs. Sorry, folks, I was getting a little distracted here looking down. Late substitution for the Tigers. I'm trying to see who that was. All right.
Ty Lucio?
Yeah, Logan. Ty Lucio.
Yeah.
Thank you. I tried to see who that was. I appreciate that.
As that pass goes out to the flats and is not high enough.
You guys are probably thinking, how could I miss Ty Lucio? But I couldn't see his number. So,
hey, 6 foot tall. I mean, you a freshman player. You got all kinds of potential in these younger guys, and they've gotten lots of playing time this year. It's good to see them do that and just get out there and do their job. As this pass is too much.
Good looking pass, well covered. Even though the defender never had to turn his head around. Who was that on the?
You got Aiden McCall was the intended receiver.
Who was is that Ian Arnold on the? Endicott, thank you.
So Nate, again, does a good job, backpedaling, then turning, running with. The pass was overthrown. However, when your defense is in the right position, those are the things you look for in film that you compliment your defensive players on. Again, this handoff to Jackson far side.
We have Bruce with his binoculars, our eyes in the booth. High tackle, Endicott again on the tackle. Oh, sorry. 84, that is Joe Mumford. Joe Mumford on the tackle for the Tigers. That's going to be enough for a first down for Skiatook, and they're on the move.
Yeah, Jackson gets to the Tiger 47-yard line, first down and 10. And the clock continues to tick here at 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the game. So Skiatook, in that position as of late, you mentioned earlier in the game, several injuries and other players aren't able to play this week. And so, they've been in the same position of playing younger players throughout the year. And you certainly look to see their development as well. That one almost picked off. Several Tigers in the position, almost picked off by Joe Mumford. And Dylan Lewis in on the play, knocking that one away. So good Tiger defense. That one, I believe that was intended for number 17, Jake Pointer. Incomplete pass brings up second down. James, did you have a guess before you go downstairs? Did you want to give us a guess?
96, 97 seasons, my guess.
96. Fall 96, spring of 97.
Graduating class of 97, I believe.
That pass intended for number 80, Aiden McCall. And it's just out of his reach. Again, a good job on the coverage by the Tigers as the patience in being a defensive back. Even if the guy you're covering has a slight step, you got to wait until the ball gets there to try to make a move on it or try to put pressure on it. Otherwise, it's pass interference, and no call there because there was no pass interference.
All right, I'm going to slip down and out of here with 1:12 left and see if I can catch Coach and stick around for the post-game interview. I believe Bruce will be taking over, and got a camera for you guys ready to go.
That pass to the left side had Mumford and Endicott teaming up after the catch to make the tackle. Gain good for a first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. The clock rolls under 50 seconds. And Tiger defense play clock is down to 10. So the Bulldogs haven't been in too big of a hurry to try to break the seal off the 0. As White back under pressure, all kinds of pressure. Throws short to Jackson, just gets tripped up. Can't hold on to that one. Or holds on to it but can't stay up. And he'll be down around the Tiger 47-yard line for a big loss on the play. And that'll be the final 15 seconds of the game, as Skiatook may try to get one more play off, and they will not. Your Tigers will go 10-0 on the season. Undefeated district play, of course, undefeated on the season, and will host the first round of the playoffs next week as the district champions. And it looks like they will most likely play the number 4 in the 4A4 district, which right now, going into tonight, would be Ada. That will be at Cushing next week. And now we want to come in and begin our Ortho Oklahoma game wrap-up in conjunction with when we're ready. We'll go down to the Blue Sky, let's see here. We've got the post-game interview. Yeah, the Blue Sky post-game interview. Yep. And Bruce is going to put on a headset and join us here. Yeah. Bruce, your thoughts on the Tigers' victory tonight?
Travis, I heard you guys talking about the Cushing crowd here tonight. They were staying. You know, the reason they're staying is they're witnessing a great time in Tiger football. We haven't experienced this in a while, and you can just feel the electricity in this crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that, we've talked about a little bit off the air is whenever you go into playoffs and you go deep into playoffs, several of those opportunities have come over the years when the Tigers were not necessarily a number 1 seed or a number 1 district champ. They've made playoff runs to the semifinals or quarterfinals as a number 3 or a number 4 or number 2 seed. This year, the Tigers will go into playoffs as a number 1 in our district. Mm-hmm. And my question there then would be, who might be that number 3 or number 4 or that number 2 seed in another district that's looking to be the upset, exactly, moving forward? And that's what the Tigers will get prepared for now.
And I don't know where we stand in the games tonight. I haven't been staying up, with the Adas and Elk Cities and all those, but that those dynamics could change tonight, and we wouldn't, and we'll know about those coming up in the future or tomorrow. I don't know if we were the only school to change our schedule. I'm assuming due to weather, but. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of them did.
Yeah, absolutely. Several schools are playing tonight, and I've heard across radio stations that several broadcasts are going to do special Thursday night editions of their Friday night, normal broadcasts, and they're also going to do them on Friday night, just preparing for possible inclement weather coming in tomorrow. And in this case, the Tigers most likely to play Ada. In the Ada district, the top 3 teams have each beat each other once. And we're getting word that we're going to go down to Coach. Whenever James is ready, take it away, James.
Working all that stuff, but they're also mature enough to know that we're going to go celebrate this right now, and then we're going to get home. We're going to find out who we're going to play next Friday, and we're going to keep it rolling.
Yeah, it looks like Ada, but we don't know yet. We won't know till on Monday. But here, as we finish this out, several games going to be still played tomorrow. I don't understand that, but you talk about what a special group this is. It's not just athleticism. This is one of the mentally toughest group I've seen.
No, there's no doubt about it. again, I talk about this senior group, but it's not just the seniors. It's leaders need followers, and it's a good group of leaders. And, we got an excellent group following them as well. And learning a lot of things, not just about the game of football, but just how to handle yourself, how to get better in every aspect of your life. And it's shown so far, and it's a mature group, and we'll go home. And like I said, keep this thing moving right along.
Nobody understands just how difficult it is to keep a focus, especially when you're winning games like this, 75 points, to keep that focus. And the Tigers have kept focus all season long. And what do you do now shifting towards districts?
Like you said, right now there's 2 teams that we could be playing. And, I've heard that they're going to be playing on Saturday now. They're not actually going to play tomorrow. So we'll get a plan for maybe both of them right now. And but we'll come in tomorrow and we'll work some soreness out, watch this film, turn the page, and be ready for whatever's next. This is a group that is very, very short-sighted on the next goal, and we have a big goal in mind in the long run, but we're going to keep knocking out those little ones.
We've talked a lot about the players. I want to talk about the coaches just real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it seems like, and I said this on the broadcast, this group of coaches, the confidence with which they're coaching right now, I haven't seen in the past.
Yeah, I'm very blessed to work with the guys that I work with, and there's a lot of stuff just like these guys that you don't see, but the coaches that you don't see. We spend most of our weekends together up at the office and watching film and thinking of what we can do. And the great thing is we can do some things that maybe some groups can't do, but this group has executed everything that we draw up and try to do. And we'll have another good weekend. But again, our coaching staff, I know how fortunate I am to have those guys working with me, and definitely don't want to take that for granted.
Anything you want to say to fans before we close out?
Being a Thursday night, looking up here at Skiatook and being kind of a far trip, the community's involvement and support has been unbelievable all year long. I know a lot couldn't make it tonight, and I know they're watching at home, and it's been excellent. It's something that these guys, I promise you, thrive off of, and it's just a good time to be a Cushing Tiger.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on an excellent season.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Districts. Back to you guys.
And that is Coach Morgan with the Blue Sky Bank post-game interview. And as we just continue here for another minute or two on the Ortho Oklahoma game wrap-up, the Tigers, dedication, commitment, strategy, their discipline, their strength and conditioning in the weight room, before the season and in the past few years has all led to this now, a 10-0 season, and they go into the playoffs. Bruce, I always put it like this. After the first 3 games of the year, I said, now the season begins, because it was district play. Right. Well, we've now finished a 10-0 season, and you know as well as I do, what happens next week? It either continues or it's over. So I say now the season begins again for the second time.
I totally agree. And we talked about, Joe and I talked about at halftime, the offense is putting scores on the board, but that defense is keeping the goose egg up on the board also.
Yep. And several of the Tiger players continue to lead statistically across the state. I'll just mention a couple of those as we start to take ourselves out. Blaze Berlowitz is leading the state at number 1 spot at 2,537 yards passing. Noah Jones, number 4 in the state at rushing. Crooks, number 2 in the state at receiving. Riley Matheson, number 1 in the state at tackles. Crooks, number 1 in returns. And Jones, number 1 in the state from offensive scoring. And those are the types of statistics that make it 10-0 seasons and make a big momentum drive going into the playoffs. You can catch those playoffs right here on Hub Network Live, whether you're driving in your car or tuning in and watching. Do not tune in, watch, and drive. That would not be good. We thank you for joining us tonight. That's going to be our Ortho Oklahoma game wrap-up. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, Travis Perry, James Kopfeld, Natasha Kemp, Jackie Vanderpool, Amaya Grant, Joe, and Bruce, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week right here on Hub Network Live, Cushing.